Right now, the United States Congress is facing a massive wave of severe ethics investigations that threatens the very stability of the Capitol. Faced with the prospect of public punishment, some members are choosing to walk away. Last week, Representatives Eric Swalwell and Tony Gonzalez resigned their seats entirely amid allegations of sexual misconduct. But that strategy of quietly stepping aside is not holding across the board. Two current representatives from Florida are taking the exact opposite approach, digging in for a bitter confrontation on the House floor. Democrat Sheila Sharfilis McCormick and Republican Corey Mills are each the subject of exhaustive, completely separate investigative dossiers detailing severe allegations. These lawmakers are avoiding standard penalties like a fine or a formal reprimand. They are facing total expulsion from Congress, a disciplinary action so severe it is triggering a volatile, bipartisan war inside the chamber. After a 2-year probe involving nearly 60 subpoenas, the House Ethics Committee concluded that Representative Sharfilis McCormick committed 25 separate violations of congressional rules. This chart tracks the core allegations. Florida mistakenly overpaid her family's business $5 million in COVID relief. Investigators say these funds were diverted through a business network to bankroll her 2022 campaign and to purchase luxury goods, including a 3-carat diamond ring. Sharfilis McCormick rejects the committee's findings completely. She has pleaded not guilty to parallel federal criminal charges and maintains she is innocent of all ethics violations. During her ethics hearings, she declined to testify, citing her Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. Her legal team argues the committee refused to hold a thorough trial where they could have presented their own evidence to counter the investigators. If the House moves forward with expulsion, the immediate fallout lands directly on her district. Hundreds of thousands of Floridians would abruptly lose their representation in Congress, right in the middle of a critical legislative session. Across the aisle, Florida Republican Corey Mills is facing his own intense scrutiny from the House Ethics Committee. His dossier covers a completely different set of allegations. The ongoing investigation is examining potential campaign finance violations, alongside accusations of sexual misconduct and dating violence. In February 2025, Washington, D.C. police opened an investigation into an alleged assault near an apartment linked to Mills, though no charges were filed. Later, in October, a Florida judge issued a restraining order against him for protection against dating violence after an ex-girlfriend accused him of harassment. Mills denies any wrongdoing. He argues the push to expel him is coordinated, partisan retaliation, a direct response to the looming vote against Sharfilis McCormick. He also explicitly distances himself from the recent resignations of his colleagues. Mills points out that he is unmarried and hasn't faced any official complaints from congressional staffers, arguing his specific situation does not warrant an expulsion vote. With serious allegations hitting members on both sides, the standard partisan battle lines are fracturing. The dual investigations are actively preventing either party from mounting a unified response to the crisis. The tension is now spilling out directly onto the House floor. Republican Representative Greg Stube has committed to formally motioning for Sharfilis McCormick's expulsion. In a rare display of intra-party conflict, Republican Representative Nancy Mace fired back at her own side, introducing a resolution to expel her fellow Republican Corey Mills. That internal rebellion drew swift pushback from House leadership. Speaker Mike Johnson told reporters that while he supports the consensus to expel Sharfilis McCormick based on the evidence, he strongly discourages Republicans from targeting each other. This visualization shows why actually executing these threats is so difficult. The Constitution requires a 2/3 majority vote of the entire House to expel a member. Reaching that number demands enormous bipartisan consensus, something that is incredibly hard to find in today's political climate. Because the threshold is so high, this punishment is remarkably rare. Out of the thousands of lawmakers who have served in Congress throughout U.S. history, only 6 have ever been expelled. The precedent for removal is steep. The first 3 were expelled for disloyalty while fighting for the Confederacy during the Civil War. 2 others had criminal convictions. The final and most recent was George Santos, ousted after a blistering ethics report and federal indictments. Now the current Congress faces a critical decision. Lawmakers must choose whether to cross an incredibly high, historically rare threshold to police their own colleagues, or back down and instead choose to leave the final judgment entirely up to the American voters at the ballot box.